All right, so we got TJ on the show now. We're gonna first get into the World Baseball Classic because it's been 2 weeks since the last episode, obviously, and everything's unfolded since then. We that was right before it began, and now we've had the entire group stages unfold, as well as two quarterfinal games. Dominican Republic beating Korea 10-0, and the U.S. beating Canada 5-3. On top of the other two quarterfinal games going to happen today between Puerto Rico and Italy in Venezuela and Japan. But before we get into those games in the future, we wanted to kind of talk through some of the things that happened, some of the storylines, who made it out, who gave us some surprises, and how did our takes hold up? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Um, let's start in the top left of the bracket, Korea and the DR. DR just took him down 10-0. I didn't watch that game. I feel like there's not really much to talk about there on that game specifically. But the DR looks like an absolute unit, obviously winning Group D. And I know that that was kind of the team that you thought maybe had the highest upside in the tournament. I had some reservations about their pitching, but they've looked really good so far. So what do you like what you've seen from them?
Yeah, I love the DR. I mean, my Instagram feed the last 2 weeks has just been the DR hitting home runs and emoting around the bases, and I love it.
I
Like
think they got
these
the
guys are
fucking
just
boom box or whatever, too.
yeah, it's like ultimate pride in your country. These guys have I think they have like a jacket or something that they wear when they hit home
Yeah,
runs.
yeah, yeah.
And there's been a
Kind of
lot
like
of
the
home
Blue
runs.
Jays.
Yeah, Junior Caminero hit a few. Vladdy's hit a few. Tatis, I just said Starling Marte. Um,
Could tell,
Ketel
right?
Marte.
Yeah, I could tell.
Um, and yesterday against Korea, Sandy Alcantara pitched really well. Um, not too much to say about
He
that.
pitched against
We kind of
Venezuela
had some
and
we had some
Korea.
doubts about their rotation before this tournament started, and I feel like they've done really well. And this lineup is just not giving up.
To speak about the doubts about the rotation, though, Severino is one of the guys who doubts me, and that's who they're pitching against the U.S. in the next game, right? So that's
True.
scary to me, and it's against Paul Skeens. Obviously, the bats are just ridiculous, and like Paul Skeens is not going to be able to pitch 9 innings in a World Baseball Classic game, so that'll be interesting. But to get back to Korea,
Yeah.
sorry, it looked like you wanted to say something there.
I was just gonna say Skeens can't pitch 9 innings, but if you can get two out of Mason Miller, then that kind of solves that problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get Skeens and Skeens as a closer. But yeah, Korea,
Yeah.
they lost 10-0. Sad, but they were super exciting to follow through the group. And like I said last episode, this was my favorite bet was them to advance. And this group, dude, Group C was awesome because it also was like the best timed games for me because they were being played in Japan. And it was a great group. It was a bloodbath. I mean, Korea even gave Japan a scare to win the group. Um, and also, like Chinese Taipei was kind of a disappointment at first, but then bang, they beat Korea and caused a scare for us. Australia goes on this run, and Korea has to beat them to advance in that final game. So it was a war from all sides, except for Czech Republic. They didn't really have much to say there. I don't know, not really much more there from Korea, DR, the paths they took. Other than the DR Venezuela game was very interesting, but I think I'll touch more on that when we get to Venezuela, Japan. So let's move to US Canada because there's a lot of interesting things that happened with the US throughout the group stages. They took a loss, which then caused them to how exactly this worked? They relied on Mexico and Italy's game.
Yeah, so I think at the time all three teams were either 3-0 because Italy somehow won the first three games, and the US and Mexico were both 3-1,
There was a three and
meaning
one,
that
3-1, 3-0, 2-1, but the 3-0 and the 2-1 were playing between Mexico and
right, and the
Canada.
US had already played all four
Three
games.
and
That's
one,
what it
yeah,
was.
exactly.
So if Mexico had beat Italy in that game, and I believe something with the run differential, if they had scored less
Like
than five
scored at
runs
least for
and beat
less than five,
Italy,
yeah,
then that would mean the US would actually be sent home, which do
on
we
run
blame Mark
differential.
DeRosa for that? I would say probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
jinxing them.
but as it turns out, Italy won, US and Italy advanced, and Italy actually went 4-0 in the pool play, which is pretty surprising.
I thought it was funny, like Italy was plus 170. I know you parlayed them. I didn't, but like I loved it. Like plus 170 against Mexico in that final game there. Getting disrespected, going 4-0 and winning pool B. That was a total surprise. Like did not obviously we kind of just like great. We did give respect to Italy actually for sure last episode, but we did kind of just say like oh, US is gonna win this group. Don't bet on it, right? Like it was definitely more interesting than that. We also thought Mexico was probably gonna be the second team to get through, even if Italy had some interesting pieces. But yeah, Italy, man, what a crazy run. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. What we also said though, if you remember correctly, is if Italy has two starting pitchers who are MLB caliber, in Lorenzen and Nola, who
Hmm.
have just been pitching really well for the past few years, if you give those guys two starts where they give up two or less runs, a little bit of run support goes a long way,
They
and
had
they
some
can win
MLB
those games.
bats, so
Yeah, and I love that they're doing like the espresso shots when they hit home runs. Have you seen
yeah,
that?
yeah. All this
Yeah,
shit shows up on like my social like media. I feel like that's the WBC. They're like all doing fucking. They're doing dumb shit. It's fun though.
yeah. I mean, it seems like it's baseball, so the teams that are
I
having the
feel like
most
it's
fun.
gone very well, like the whole tournament. Other than there's been like some blowouts, but like you expect that. I think it's gone surprisingly well for there being a lot of not competitive games, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we preview a little bit of USA Canada?
What was that? It was 5-3, or you mean review, I guess.
Or review?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
five
not preview.
five three. Yeah, I didn't watch that, so I'll let you cover that before we move on to Puerto Rico, Italy.
Yeah. Your boy Logan Webb pitched really well. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, no earned runs, had I think 5 or 6 strikeouts too. And then they brought in Brad Keller, who gave up 2 runs on a homer to Bo Naylor hit a home run last
Oh,
night.
Naylor. That's
Um,
150,
I, w-
but
I
has a
would
little
have thought,
pop.
yeah, I mean, MLB bat, like they can always hit home runs. So
He's got a little
um,
pop, yeah.
I think Keller lasted about an inning, and then they went to David Bednar, who gave up 2 hits but no runs, and then Whitlock and Mason Miller kind of shut down the last 2 innings. Uh, it got a little closer
Used a
than the
lot of
U.S. may have
pieces, but
liked.
I feel like a lot of these games they're really letting like the starter only go 4, 5, even if they're doing really well, and then like they just empty the bullpen, which is surprising because
Yeah,
they're playing a lot. But I guess they have
at
deep
least most
bullpens.
of the MLB pitchers, I think they've set a limit of like 65 pitches for those
Mm,
guys. Just injury,
yeah,
and also a lot of the better teams have good bullpens, so they can turn to them.
yeah,
And
yeah. The
they're pretty
bullpens are
deep.
pretty deep. Yeah. Because you're not really
Uh,
relying, like if you're the US, you're not really ever relying on like almost every bullpen, even in the MLB's got those 2, 3 guys who are just up there because there's injury, they're on, minor league contracts, they're just getting tested out. They're 65 overall on MLB The Show. You know what I mean? Like you don't have that
yeah,
on the US team really.
there was a single A guy in the Canada bullpen last night who went 2 innings. Let me see if I can find his name.
Like that shit's
It
fun, but like
was
it does
it
definitely
was
help to be able to just put quality relievers out there.
yeah, so it was Wilkinson. He struck out Aaron Judge to end the 8th inning, which is pretty sick. And then he
Nice.
struck out Cal Raleigh to end the ninth
Do,
inning.
what farm systems this guy a part of?
I think he's part of the
What's his name?
Guardians. I think he's part
It's
of the
always the
Guardians.
Guardians.
Wilkinson,
It's always the
Matt
fucking
Wilkinson.
Guardians. Matt Wilkinson. Uh-huh. Nice. So if we see him in the majors in a few years, we'll remember his
Yeah,
strikeout of Judge in the Canada WBC game.
yeah. I think the other thing is like the U.S. has underperformed everyone's expectations.
Yeah.
Um, Mark DeRosa has made some questionable calls in his coaching. We can talk a little bit about his press conference where he said that he had no idea that the U.S. could be eliminated in
That
pool
was
play.
dumb. I'd rather get into like the Gunner thing, dude. I feel like that's more like why is he not
That
playing
that's
Gunner?
that's another thing I'd like to talk about. I have to watch Alex Bregman roll over to third and pop up every time he goes to the plate, and yet Gunner's sitting on the bench with a 1500 OPS. He's gone 5 for 10
500
and
batting average. Yeah,
has a home run and 5 RBIs. I don't really understand it.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm an Orioles fan, so all I want to do is watch Gunnar
Like
play.
what? He's young. I don't know. Like what? He's in the MLB for a reason. It takes a lot to get to the MLB, right? Like,
Yeah, obviously, Bobby Witt's going to take priority because he's probably the best shortstop in baseball. I can agree with that. But what's the problem with putting Gunnar at third? He's going to be the same defensively and probably be more
dude,
valuable at the
honestly,
plate.
now that I think about it, you don't really follow basketball that much, but this is a perfect example. Like even Tatum didn't get time. That was a big thing in the Olympics. But like Gunner, right? Third year, star shortstop. So let's say we took a third year lottery pick guy, like I don't know, Zachary Rissachar or some shit, whatever, in the NBA. And he goes to, well, he's fucking French, so that doesn't work. But you have a guy who's playing on the US team. He's a lottery pick in his third year. He's an exciting young star on his team in the league. He goes to the US team. He's not going to get any fucking reps in the NBA. But it's totally different in baseball because in baseball you've gone through you didn't go one and done in college where you didn't give a fuck to go to the just to make it to the NBA. You went through a whole farm system after either going through high school, which makes it even longer, or playing in college, right? So once you're in the MLB and you're a bona fide like superstar, there's no reason not to trust him. A guy with a 9 WAR, there's no reason not to trust his defense. Like it
Yeah.
just makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. It's not like the NBA Olympic team, right? Where it's like, oh, let's go to our veterans. I feel like a lot of people, when arguing for Bregman, have that perspective, but it doesn't make sense here.
And how about you look at the guy with a 1500 OPS instead of the guy who's hitting 175 with a 650 OPS? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a no-brainer. If Mark DeRosa thinks something different, then that's his opinion. But
Maybe he thinks it's disrespectful to bet. I don't know what. I don't get it. Like,
when the U.S. is in these close games, since they've been underperforming, put the best lineup out there and let them just hit home runs.
do we know the lineup for the USDR? Is it Bregman? Do
No, it hasn't been announced
okay.
yet.
Well,
I
hope
would assume Gunnar is playing because if DeRosa didn't realize that he deserves to be in there,
I
then I
mean,
don't
I
know.
mean, this is
I don't
this
know
is
what.
the game. Like, I think this is going to be a harder game than anyone you anyone you play at the finals. Venezuela, Japan, Puerto Rico, Italy. I think DR is better than Japan. I even think Venezuela can give Japan a scare. Yeah, dude, this is the hardest game. I think the DR looks like the best team, and you're catching them with one of their weaker pitchers, in my opinion. You gotta throw the lineup at them, man. You gotta put the
Yeah,
best guys out there. And Gunner's better than Bregman. He's a better player than Bregman. I don't care like what other people disagree with. I don't agree with that. Should we get to the game Puerto Rico Italy? Good game. Puerto
I think
Rico.
we both
How did
have
they get
we
there?
both have a similar opinion on this game.
Pull a runner up? Yeah, pull a runner up. I haven't watched Puerto Rico really at all, followed their scores at all. I don't know. Have you?
Not really. I probably would have watched Puerto Rico more if a lot of those stars that didn't get in because of insurance were able to play.
Yeah,
I'd be much happier to watch a roster with Lindor and Correa and guys like that.
yeah,
But I guess previewing today's 3 p.m. matchup, Puerto Rico versus Italy. You have Seth Lugo on the mound for Puerto Rico, who is bona fide starter MLB talent.
yeah.
I think he's probably career 3.5 ERA so far. And then you have, is it Spencer Aldegari? No, Sam
Oh,
Aldegari.
yeah. I don't know much about him. He's a minor league or Angels guy, right?
Yeah, he's a young Angels lefty, had a 6.4 ERA last season through 7 games. Sorry, he has a 6.4 ERA through 7 games in the last 2 seasons. Um, Pitching only 26 innings in his career, so he's kind of a young guy. I wouldn't expect him to go more than 2 innings before they bring in who else is on that lineup, um, and that's in that rotation.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, no, in
Oh,
Italy.
Italy?
I'm not sure Nola or Lorenzen are ready to go. They just pitched.
Um, Matt Festa, Twins bullpen guy, or starter. Greg
Okay.
Weissert, Adam Ottavino. That's all
Those
that.
are a
That's
lot of
all I know.
bullpen guys, though, so I don't know where they're going to get a bulk of their innings. Maybe they just go bullpen game.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's all the Gary and the Bull. But yeah, I mean, dude, they're 4-0 somehow, and they just don't look that deep. They have a few like big names, but they're also like younger guys, like Caglianone and I don't even remember like a lot of these guys. They're Thomas
yeah, I don't know many of
DeGacy.
them.
So, Vinny Pasquantino is good. Miles Mastroboni can't really hit. Like Canzoni, another like young, not really, can't really hit. I mean, none of these guys they don't have bats other than like Caglianone and Vinny. It's pretty impressive what they've put together here. They don't have pitching depth. They have some top end talent, and they're kind of the one team that has broken the mold of what we said succeeds here, which did succeed, like teams like Korea and Venezuela and shit. Teams that just have depth, like did play well. And then this Italy is kind of that one team that doesn't have depth but has a little bit of top end talent and broke the mold. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess they have. I mean, you were talking about Vinny P and Caglione. Those are also guys who could hit a home run at any point. Caglione hit one like 120 miles an hour a few days ago in spring training,
So
which is
yeah,
pretty insane. And then they also have Canzone, who MLB talent. And something I wanted to mention was that Kyle Teal got injured the other day, which is
yeah,
not something that you want to see.
yeah.
I think he homered in one of their pool play games earlier in the
They got a
tournament.
Venezuelan guy playing catcher now. It's like why, bro's just
Yeah, but
sucked.
I mean, White Sox just can't win, I guess.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you said you like Italy here, like as a bet,
I,
or what?
I like Italy, but it depends more on the pitching because Seth Lugo's probably gonna give up less than 3 runs,
It's a
pitch
pick 'em,
five
what,
innings.
-110, over under 8.5,
Uh,
just about, yeah.
I feel like due to the pitching matchup, Puerto Rico should be favored in this game, and they're not, so I might stay off of it. But I would lean Italy because of their lineup, and Puerto Rico's lineup is just kind of spotty.
What's the handedness of this pitcher? I might be going with the Helio Ramos home run,
Um,
lefty.
Aldegari is a lefty.
Unless I'm like totally forgetting, Helio Ramos hits or mashes but no, he mashes lefties and doesn't hit well against righties. Pretty sure. I'll check the splits, but
I don't
let me
know.
uh let me confirm that. I think we might be taking Helio Ramos home run, man, because you got to boost that shit up like from 550. There's a boost, I think. Yeah, you got to SGP it though, so
Are
60.
you kind of aligned in that you think Italy's going to win this game?
I don't know, man. I really don't want to take a side in this game. I'm scared to take a side in this game, honestly.
I'm excited to watch it. Um,
I
I
like
just
the
really like this Team
over.
Italy. Team
I
Italy
like
has
maybe
fun
doing
out there.
something fun with Vinny and Helio Ramos. So there's a 30% WBC SGP/SGPX profit boost. And I don't usually do shit like this, but I'm thinking maybe like Vinny home run and Ramos home run, just something fun here. Could be
And
pretty
I
juicy.
guess the over works in that script.
Yeah, let me see what that pays out.
Why not?
Yeah, I know. Are you back in Italy as a pick, you think, or you're just leaning them here?
No, I'm leaning them. Probably just rooting for them because I think they have more fun than Puerto Rico, so I want to
Yeah,
see them
yeah,
continue.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, guys to look at: Canzo and Vinny, Ramos. Maybe I don't really like Arnado's bat these days. Yeah, I'd look at Canzone, Vinny, Ramos as guys to get some production if you're looking at props. I do like the over. These teams, I think, have generated some scoring, but you do have Seth Lugo on the mound and shit. Like he's a very, very good. I mean, he was in the Cy Young race just the other year, so he's a very good
yeah.
MLB pitcher. But should we move on to Venezuela, Japan?
Yeah, this is a much better matchup
I'm excited
and
for this,
one
and
that
I know we kind of split
I'm
here.
gonna tune in for this one. This one's gonna be fun. I am leaning Japan based on the pitching matchup. We have Ranger Suarez from the Red Sox just signed a hundred and whatever $25 million deal. Um, and then Japan has Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound, who we saw in the World Series last year. He can pitch
Yeah.
every day if they need him to pitch every day. He can throw no hitters. He can throw
And you
9 inning
Japan,
complete
there's
game
just
shutouts.
another level, like them in the DR is just another level of commitment.
Yeah, I'm looking at this matchup like it's kind of similar to the USA versus DR, and that this could be a championship matchup.
Hmm. Yeah, like these are the four teams, kinda. Actually,
Definitely.
well, so it's USA, DR, Venezuela, Japan. Yeah, yeah, I'd say those are the four best teams. Yeah. So,
Those are the teams that have the strongest lineup. At least Japan has been together for the past like 6 years. It's been essentially the same team, so they've built
mhm.
that chemistry. I would say those four teams just have the most chemistry, and honestly, the U.S. is kind of an outlier in that a lot of these guys haven't really played together. Um,
They just
but I
have
think
a crazy level of talent. That's kind of the one
crazy
thing.
talent, yeah. So that's you can't count out the U.S. in this.
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
thoughts? Any thoughts on the money line where you think? I think Venezuela is plus 165, and then Japan is minus 210.
that's what you're seeing. I bet 365.
That's what I'm seeing at DK.
I'm at DK. Can you check 365? Because that fucking hold
Yeah,
sucks. Like, you don't want to bet a market that's minus 210 plus 165. What the fuck are we doing?
we have we have a better line on Japan at minus 190, and then Venezuela is somehow only slightly worse at plus 160.
Yeah, see, the hold's way better at bet 365, so don't bet this at DK. Plus 162, minus 200. I mean, if you're on Japan, minus 190 is not terrible. I like, I just want to take Venezuela here just because I like them, but it's obviously very bold. And I don't think the prices you're getting are good enough. I was hoping for plus 180, plus 175, maybe to get into
Yeah,
playable range as a lean. So I think it's just, yeah, great game to watch. Maybe I'm gonna dig into a couple prop lines here really quick, see if there's anything to attack there. But unless there's any other major storylines or things you want to cover before the semifinals or predictions you want to make, like who's gonna win or anything, I think that should wrap it up.
I guess it all depends on what kind of leash they give Yamamoto today. If they let him throw 90 pitches, then he could throw 8 innings. But if they only let him throw 65, who knows? I don't know much about that bullpen. Um, but yeah, I think it just depends how long they let Yamamoto pitch today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the the batting lineups right now. And Acuna, I mean, plus 450 for a home run is long odds because you're getting him against a really good pitcher. So that's probably not great. And then Otani's only plus 200. So it's like, stay the fuck away from that.
Have you been following Murakami at all and seeing what he's been doing?
When I was watching I've been watching the Japan games, and he's mostly like, I haven't really remembered any highlight hitting parts, but he's been getting a lot of praise for like his fielding and like how he slimmed down and like he looks really like healthy and fit and like
Okay.
athletic at the position, which is like people are noting. So that's interesting because a lot of guys, he was kind of your classic like tubby first baseman guy, but
Right.
yeah,
And I feel like most
he
of the
looks in
concern
position and ready
was,
for the year. Sorry, what were you
yeah,
saying?
I was saying that most of the concern was that he wouldn't be MLB caliber defensively. So that's good to hear that he's slimmed down and he's been
Yeah, I
having
mean
highlights.
he's still a unit, but he's moving well. And like I saw, yeah, so that looks good. But yeah, I don't really have any bets for this game because I think the two guys to target on each side on Acuna and Otani are just overpriced. And then if you want to get into some sneaky, maybe Michael Garcia, very talented batter. Look at like maybe hits, runs, RBIs. I don't know. Let me see if I can get a line on that. Um,
Yeah.
plus
Let
170 for two
me
plus.
take a
I
look.
guess he's probably not been hitting very well, but I think he's a good hitter. I don't know where he bats in the lineup because the lineup's not out.
Were you looking at 2 plus, you said?
Yeah.
That's plus 170 on 365.
Yeah, I don't really know how he's done yet, but like he's a guy that I like in terms of a batter. I'll look at his stats really quick. But Yeah, I don't have anything else. My only pick here is this really stupid parlay. We're going Ramos home run, Vinny home run, over 7.5. You go from like 3850 to 5,000. Plus 5,000, put 0.025 units on it. Have some fun. Let's
Yeah,
have
I
some
think
home runs.
as you were saying your bets, I think what I'm gonna take is Japan money line minus 170 on Bet365, and then I'll find a Otani market or something to parlay that with just to get plus odds. Maybe 2+ hits, runs, RBIs, something like that.
Minus
Uh,
juice, just get
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think hits, runs,
I think that would
RBIs
be
is the
a good one.
safest way to just have coverage because there's other good bats. He walks, don't play around with two hits. Don't play around with anything that's like, just take the juice. Yeah.
And I'm also not a huge Ranger Suarez guy.
Neither am I. I'm
So
kind of worried about that. That's really why I'm not heavy on Venezuela. I would be.
he
That's
he
why.
is a lefty, so I guess that doesn't help Otani much, but Otani is kind of matchup proof in that
Hmm.
way. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that wraps it up for the picks. I was just looking at the DR lineup at the corner of my house.
yeah, I
Oh,
forgot to
fucking shit.
mention the standoff between the two Logan Allens.
Oh yeah, well that was funny. What happened in that?
Yeah, so I think it was Canada versus Panama, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Canada versus
So
Panama. Logan Allen,
Logan
Logan
Allen,
Allen.
pitcher on the Guardians, he plays for Team Panama. And at the end of the national anthem, he had a standoff with another guy named Logan Allen, who's on Team Canada. And they stood out there for like 15 minutes after the national anthem. I thought it was really funny. Um, Panama Logan Allen won the
Yeah, I mean,
standoff.
so the other Logan Allen was like a Diamondbacks reliever, I think, and like who isn't in the MLB anymore. And then like obviously the other Logan Allen's like a good, decent young starting pitcher for the Guardians who have a nasty rotation. So there's definitely levels to that one in terms of skill set.
Definitely.
Uh, yeah. So that's it for the WBC. I think the picks and everything going on there. We're gonna get into some golf now and the Players Championship. Was it the fifth major, right? They got the no, is that not the Players? Which one's that?
No, it's the unofficial fifth major. A
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
the
people in the golf world
yeah,
are
not the
trying to say,
actual fifth major. That's what I was saying. Don't look at me crazy. I was the unofficial fifth major is what they call
yeah,
it. Sorry.
sure,
For golf purists. It's not an actual major, but it's the best field in golf, right? Because there's no amateurs. That's what you're explaining to me. Okay, so
exactly.
yeah, players on TPC Sawgrass. It's always played on that course, right? And then we got Oberg at the top right now, 12 under. None of these guys have teed off yet. Only really the main or like the bottom guys are teeing off right now. We got Oberg at the top, 12 under. Shoffley, 10 under. Cameron Young, 9 under. Justin Thomas, Corey Connors, 8 under, kind of rounding out that top five right now. But let's just like dig into kind of what's been happening this season. Who's been, on your radar, surprising you, doing well, not doing well, who you've got in this tournament, all of the above.
Yeah. So I took a top 30 parlay pre-tournament. Um, I had Colin Morikawa, who's had a really hot start to 2026. Um, I'll get into why that missed in a
Yeah,
second.
that's unfortunate.
But I also took Tommy Fleetwood, top 30, who's had a
Doing
really
well.
good career at the
Top 10,
Players
5 under right now.
and has been playing really well this year. And then I also took Siwoo Kim, who I think is at even par or one over currently,
Yeah,
at
two
like
over
50.
right now. He's through 7 right now.
Yeah, so that parlay obviously missed because Colin Morikawa decided to withdraw on the second hole of the tournament
Hey,
on
maybe you
Thursday.
can't be too mad at that right now because now you've got other action you put down that looks good, right? I mean, you went back down to Fleetwood. You want to talk about
Yeah,
Straka
so it,
here.
it turns out that that bonus bet I got refunded, so I'm happy about that. But
So they
when I
they
was
did
panic,
honor it. Good, good, good.
however, when I was panicking about Colin Morikawa, I had placed down Fleetwood and Siwoo Kim top 20 because that was the only market I could get at the time.
I told you
And
not to
that's
do that. And I urge people not to do that. When one of your legs gets voided, don't replace the other two because if it misses, then you're mad. And if it hits, then you're mad about the what if payout being better on the three legger. I know it hurts, but
while that is true, I saw a video of Siwoo Kim smoking a dart behind a tree yesterday.
you were convinced.
When the play was slow in the afternoon, and I don't know. I see fireworks out of Siwoo Kim today and tomorrow.
He's
We'll
still
see.
like in it, I guess, if he
He's
fixes up
he's
today's
definitely in
wind.
it, and for him to get a top 20, all he has to do is go what 5 under over the next two
Yeah.
days.
Two
Um,
guys though that I think you said you put live bets on or you have action on are Straka and who's the Thorpe, right? Thorpe Bjornsson?
I don't have Thorb. I
Oh,
put
but still doing great. Michael Thorpe Bjornsson, I feel like he's a guy we should touch on. Like he's been very good, right? Like surprisingly good. He's a guy who's on my radar.
after round one. I saw that Sepp Straka was um, plus 1,200 to win without Tommy Fleetwood, Xander Schauffele, and then McElroy and Scheffler. I thought that was a really good market just because he was already tied for the lead after round one. And
I
the
mean,
only
I
guys
love
that
that
I would
market because
see,
Shoffley's in second and Fleetwood's in 10th. And it's like
yeah,
not that much worse. I know about the price you're saying, but the price right now is 1475 and the regular winner is like 2000. So that's kind of ridiculous. I love that bet, like without Shoffley
yeah.
especially.
And if you've watched Fleetwood over the past 2 years, he's the type of guy who on a Saturday or Sunday moving day, he'll shoot a low round of like 7 or 8 under par. And so I like that market taking out two of the top dogs who are currently in that top
Yeah,
10.
yeah. Fleetwood scares me
I
sitting there.
would,
Is that he just sits there and then next thing you know, like other guys make mistakes, he's steady and like now he's in the question to win, right? So absolutely taking out
yeah,
two of
so
the top dogs.
absolutely, I would take Sepp Straka at plus 1,500 or wherever you can get it currently. I think I saw 1,500 on
Yeah, I was
DK.
at DK that market, right?
Yeah, I got him at 1,200. If he's at 1,500 right now, there's no reason I wouldn't double down. So
Yeah.
that's a guy I'm looking at. Also, some picks that I took, just kind of sprinkles because they were guys that I liked and kind of volatile players who play really well at the players. I had taken, let me see my live bets. I know I had taken Ricky Fowler. He was plus 4,200, I believe, to win at the beginning of, and I think there's value on him just because he's won at the players before back in 2015 and plays really well at this course. And he's probably my favorite golfer of all time, and he's been playing
Really
really good
looking at
golf
maybe
recently.
like a top 10 at this point. Get 450 on it, I think, right now. Because he's a two
Yeah,
under, tied for
I
29.
think there's some value on that. I wouldn't put a big unit on it, just because it is Ricky Fowler, and he's been known to kind of fall apart on days 3 and 4. So
He's not,
it's
yeah, I don't
definitely
know if I
hard
love
to
that
find.
now because he's not in a great place. And if he's been known, probably not a great bet, but uh,
Yeah, but someone who's playing in the same group is also Jordan Spieth. I was really upset that he double bogeyed the last hole, both days 1 and 2. But you take those out, and he's at 7 under par currently. So
yeah, you take those
he's a
out and
guy
he
I'm
goes
looking
from
at.
23rd to sixth. I like the Jordan Spieth top 10 or
Yeah,
top 5 angle maybe plus
and
360 for 10. What do you
I was
what?
looking at his round three score over under. He's currently at 71.5, meaning the under 71.5 would mean he needs to shoot 1 under par today. I think that's very doable. He should have shot 6 under yesterday if it wasn't for a collapse coming down the stretch. But it's Jordan Spieth, so he's gonna make a bunch of bogeys and a bunch of birdies, and if they cancel out and he ends up under par, that bet hits.
Yeah.
It's minus 138 currently on FanDuel, and with the boost, I have it at minus 110. So I like it.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go with like an official pick here on Spieth because I don't know if 360 does it for me on top 10. I feel like I want like 425, 450, and the a top five is a little bit of a push. I don't know, But I'm gonna go to two long shots anyway in slightly different fashions. The first one's just like I think the price is too good. This is a major sprinkle. Maverick McNeely. He's a name I've been tracking and betting pretty often so far this year. I like him a lot. Um, 6 out. He's got two days to go. All these guys do. We've seen shit shift in the last 2 days of a lot of these tournaments after we talk about them. And I just got a gut feeling that 50 to 1, once you boost it by 25% at FanDuel, is just too long of odds for this. And the reason that I'm not taking that without Shoffley, et cetera, market, which is definitely a very good concern, is just because the price at FanDuel is way better than the price at DK, and you're not getting that market at FanDuel. So it's more of a price step. 50 to 1, use that boost. 0.025 units, like keep it really tame. That's to win 2.5 units, so that's still aggressive. And then the next one I want to ask you about is the top five pick here, Austin Smotherman, a name that I feel like he's been floating around like those leaderboards pretty often. He's sitting tied for 10th right now, and he's getting disrespected just because he's not a big name at plus 1,000 for the top five. That seems like some decent value, but there is a lot of good names crowding it, so I don't know if you like that one.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it just because of the sheer firepower at the top of the leaderboard.
It's fair.
However, Smotherman also, don't get me wrong, he's had two top tens already this season. One of those was a second place finish at was it the Cognizant, I believe,
Yeah, the
where
Cognizant
he
Classic. Yeah.
Cognizant he tied for second place when Shane Lowry collapsed.
Yeah, he had a very
And
good round, I remember, in one of those tournaments.
yeah, so I mean, he's made half the cuts this year. He's a young player. I don't know too much about him, but I know he hasn't won on tour yet. Um,
Maybe
yeah,
I'll pivot to the top 10 because really the only thing scaring us is just the sheer talent at the top of the leaderboard already. The top 10 is at plus 325 at DK, including ties. I don't know if there's better at like Bet 365 or something, but I would just either of those. I'm not sure yet. I'll probably put out an official pick. But yeah, top 10, top five. He's a little sprinkle for me. Play that to win like a half unit, I guess.
yeah.
And then,
And
sorry, what's up?
just because you mentioned that, you have me looking at that portion of the leaderboard. Jacob Bridgman is the guy that I'm looking at as
Ooh, I
well.
like Jacob Bridgman.
I haven't looked at any lines yet, but I know that obviously he won at Riviera, which is a really tough track. And he shot, let me see,
You got to go
what was
top
his
five
round?
with him because he's only plus 300 for a top five. You could look at him to win if you're bold, but I do like McNeely more in that group of guys tied for seven. Unless the
I think if I'm looking at people to win, I'm probably taking guys within 5 strokes of the leader currently.
Straka.
Uh,
Do
but
you like
if the
JT?
odds, if you can get good odds at any point, then Bridgman or Smotherman, I would look at both of those guys.
Yeah, okay. JT, maybe a little comeback story if he wins here. Touch on that. Not a bet, but worth touching on.
I mean, JT is one of my favorite players. He has been out for a few months with, I think it was a wrist injury. Um, but he's obviously been one of the best golfers over the past 5 years. And JT actually shot 13 or 14 over last week at Bay Hill, which was uncharacteristic for him. He's a really consistent player, and he played really well yesterday. He shot 2 rounds of 68 to start the tournament. He's currently sitting 4 shots off the lead,
Yeah,
and I'm not really looking at him from a betting perspective because I think that the odds are probably there's probably not enough value just because of his history.
yeah, right.
Um, but he's a guy that I'm rooting for to win this tournament. Obviously, he's one of my favorite players.
It's like plus 1200, so the winner is just not good enough value for me. But
Probably
I'm cooking up one little last bet here because of this boost at DK. It's plus top 20 parlay, and I've got Spieth and Thigala at plus 112 and plus 120. They're both in 23rd right now. Guys who I just think the floor is that, like, yeah, you take those two hits out of Spieth, and then Thigala is a super just steady golfer. Like, I feel like he's just always gonna, like, I don't expect him to blow up that often. I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but that's kind of my perception of him.
Yeah, Thigala had a really good first round. He shot 67, and then yesterday he came out he was actually in the pairing with Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth yesterday.
Ricky Fowler might be
Uh,
the third leg I'm asking you here, but sorry, continue.
those three are all kind of in the same portion of the leaderboard. Ricky's at 2 under, and then Spieth and Thigala are at 3 under. They played together the last 2 days. Uh, Good vibes out of that group, so
All
I
right,
would
so I
expect
got
them to keep
three
it up.
options here then, and I'm going to ask you what's the best one, and we're going to go with it.
Okay.
Spieth, Thigala, Thorpe, top 20, plus 800 after the boost. Next, we're going Spieth, Thigala, Smotherman, top 20, plus 1,000 after the boost. Last option, Spieth, Thigala, and Ricky Fowler, plus 1140 after the boost.
Okay. So I think what would be best is to compare the odds for Smotherman, Thorbjornsen, and Ricky Fowler.
Right, it's plus 125 for Ricky. It's minus 102 for Smotherman, and it's minus 160 for Thorpe. And we're getting 800, 1,000, and 1140.
That's kind of where I would expect it to be. Smotherman seems like the best value there. However,
I might back off my
Thorpe,
top 5 or 10 and just go with that three-legger. I don't know.
I don't know. Thorpe is definitely, I would say, the best out of those three.
And
And
he's already
not
up there.
necessarily the best player, but in the best position, considering Smotherman and Thorpe are already 3 shots ahead of Ricky Fowler.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
I don't
go
know
with the
if I have a
Thorpe
clear
version
answer
and
for you.
just stay safe. I think I'm gonna go with Thorpe, Spieth, Thigala top 20 at plus 800 or plus 799 after you boost it. Going with the tiny sprinkle on that winner, plus 5,000 for Maverick McNeely. I'm totally agreeing with you on Straka there with that bet, another little winner sprinkle, and then I think top 10 with Smotherman at plus 325 is good value to win a half unit is that's the only real bet that we're not boosting up or messing with. I think Smotherman top 10. Just keep that separate. Because if that hits and then the parlay misses because of some Spieth fall apart, I'll be really upset. So I don't want to start mixing theories there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess just to wrap up my picks, I really like that Straka market specifically without Shoffley and Fleetwood.
Hmm.
If you can still get that on DK for about 1,500. I really like Xander Shoffley. I know there was a 25% boost on FanDuel. So if you can get his winner at about plus 500, plus 550, that's a guy I'm looking at because he hit 14 out of 14 fairways yesterday. He missed only 2 greens, um, and has a really good history at the Players. Xander Shoffley is the guy that I'm looking at to
Yeah, I mean, if you
potentially
can
win
get
this
that
tournament.
market at DK and then you can go use your 25% boost on Shoffley to win at FanDuel, that's a great
Yeah,
portfolio of bets right there. I love that. But what else?
exactly. And then obviously I mentioned that Spieth pick. I don't know if I'm going to end up taking it. I'll have
Hmm.
to look into it a little bit more, but round three score under 71.5. I'm looking at Spieth to shoot hopefully around about 69, 70.
What do you
It just
think's a
depends
better
if he
use of
has.
the boost there at FanDuel? Taking that, or because you're kind of capped to only a smaller unit typically, should you use it on the winner there with Shoffley, you think? Or only if you
I
bet
think
the
you use.
Straka though,
Yeah,
right?
I think you use the bet on, or sorry, I think you use the boost on Shoffley in this case.
But
Um,
make sure you take Straka in that case as a sprinkle too at DK, you're saying?
I would say so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a hedge.
Yeah, so you're either kind of just playing a straight here with that under that you like on Spieth, or you're probably playing the boost with the sprinkles. But yeah, I like that. Is there any other picks you like?
Not that I can find.
Straka, Schauffele, Spieth, and I've got Spieth in my parlay. So those are the names that we're revolving, right? Like Spieth to do well, Straka to do well, Fleetwood to do well, Schauffele to do well, McNeely to do well, Thorpe, Smotherman, Bridgman. These are some names we highlighted. That'll wrap it up. Exciting field, man. There's just so many like good names that even I can talk about this with like these all the entire top 25 to 30 other than the guy Mao that you just put on my radar. Fucking awesome name. And Yella
Love it.
Maraju from Canada, another crazy name. Like those are the only two guys I don't know other than Putnam at 29th out of the U.S. I know every other player here in this top 30, so it was a fun tournament. I'm gonna dial in and actually watch these last 2 days because I haven't really been paying attention. But yeah, thank you for coming on the show and breaking all that down.
Of course, always happy to talk some golf and baseball.